What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, so it's been a little while since I talked about Vietnam. Again, I just don't want to bore you guys with it. But when it comes to Vietnam and Iraq, you know that I personally look long term as well as short term. The currencies being short term, and for me, other opportunities long term. That's why you see on my Iraq videos, I told everybody about a group that buys stock off the Iraqi exchange. The link will be in the description for those of you who are interested. All right, look at this is one of the better companies out there in Vietnam. Of course, what do they sell? Precious metals. What a segue right into this. If you're not already buying precious metals, you're way behind the curve. Come on now. Now is the time. If you're going to consider buying precious metals like gold and silver, please consider our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. The link will be in the description. If you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, Pimpy, and get a free half ounce of silver. Alrighty? Anyways, we have Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, foreign currency investments. No politics here, please, because if you're going to talk about politics, bring it over here to the hidden things in front of your eyes. So in here, you can bicker and battle all day long. That's what they do in here. It's something to see. But nonetheless, over here, you could talk about GESARA, NESARA, Trump, current events, false flag events, conspiracy things, 9/11, QAnon, all that is in here. The links for all of them will be in the description. They're free to join. Come on over, all right? So let's get into what's going on over there because, again, when it comes to Vietnam, I'm looking short-term, long-term. So Japanese enterprises seek distribution partners in Vietnam, as they should. There are a lot of countries. I showed you guys this all the time. Vietnam is one of the countries that's really, really benefiting from the issue with China. So again, this is why for me, I'm watching this and I'm looking for opportunities to invest long term. So Japanese businesses that sell home care, beauty, and healthcare products will join the program in Hanoi to seek Vietnamese distributors in the local market. Due to the impact of the Rona, the framework of the Good Goods Japan 2020 program held by the Japan External Trade Organization, JETRO, is that right? Yeah. From August 24th through November 30th, will be held online with 46 Japanese enterprises. This is a great way for them to talk business with and opportunities in Vietnam. JETRO project director said Vietnamese distributors, importers, and wholesalers and retailers will have online negotiations with Japanese consumers goods manufacturers after checking products in Hanoi. So this is an opportunity once again for another country to come into Vietnam. That's what I look for personally. You know what I mean? This will help the economy of Vietnam strengthen, and in return will strengthen their dollars. Okay, there are a lot of companies moving over into Vietnam. For me, my big thing, of course, is real estate, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But anyways, Japan's looking to move more vendors over into Vietnam, and why not? They've been able to somehow magically manage to deal with their Rona better than anybody else. Although at one time they had 0 deaths, they're now up to 26 deaths. Considering the rest of the world, they're really just kicking ass when it comes to just doing what they need to do. Anyways, you can see Japan wanting to move more over into Vietnam. Good move. So the P&J revenues are up 10% in July. Rightfully so. You'll see why. So that's a Funan Jewelry joint stock company reported profits after taxes of 2.38 million just in the month of July. All right, so it's up 51,546 year on year. The revenues are up 46.6 million or 44.6 million, up 10%. All right, and why do you suppose that is? Of course, precious metals. The retailer segment remains the growth driver, accounting for 55.26% of revenues. Revenues from the gold bullion segment increased 27.44% from 19.02% for the year from a year ago as people look for safe haven investments. This is happening all around the world. This is what I'm trying to tell you, why you should be investing into precious metals. Now, the funny thing is, still, experts are still saying and are making this claim that we have not seen a real rush to precious metals. If that is true, which I kind of find it hard to believe because it seems like every article I read in other countries, people are buying up precious metals. But let's just say it's true. If that's the case, then I could tell you that people that are subscribed to my channel that are buying into precious metals, well, then you're way ahead of the program, way ahead of everybody else. All right. So once the rush happens, it's going to cause, a semi-panic. That's because let's see here, was it a month ago we started seeing a panic in precious metals? It was really hard to get. So if that was happening then, and we haven't seen a so-called rush, what the hell do you think is going to happen when a rush comes? All right, so we are in better position than anybody else. All right, that's why I tell you don't invest emotionally into things. If you're going to do them, think long-term, leave them alone. They will grow. Okay. Anyway, so the company over in Vietnam that's dealing with bullion, of course, is doing great. That's not a surprise. I would imagine if you checked all the companies here in the United States that deal with precious metals, you're going to see that they're all doing very, very good compared to maybe other businesses. Oh, so this is not a surprise at all. All right, so what's going on here? Oh, this is my favorite subject for Vietnam. Experts gaze into the crystal ball. Property price to bottom by mid-2021. Well, that's good for me if I want to invest over there in properties. The Vietnamese property market is expected to slow down with prices starting to drop by the end of the year and hitting the bottom in mid-2021, creating opportunities for homeowners sitting on cash, experts have forecasted. Okay, that's what I want to hear. You now have my attention. Housing prices will begin to plummet by the end of this year and bottom out by mid-2021 when the Rona pandemic has impacted every sector, especially the housing market. So that's not just here. Again, I mean, that's not just there. It's everywhere. And I am anticipating the home markets to just really drop here in the United States. I don't want it to, but I'm expecting something big to happen. If that's the case, then fine. Once all this, what I think is going to happen, once it happens, it's going to allow me to buy more properties, and I'm going to be able to buy them for possibly 40 to 50% cheaper than what we're seeing right now. So I am going to keep an eye on it. There's no doubt about it. All right, since the second wave of the pandemic began last month, investors' confidence has gone once again weakened as property sales dived and incomes were hit hard. So again, that's everywhere. We're seeing this, but I think people are beyond this. They're starting to wake up and realize that this coronavirus is just bullshit, to be quite honest with you. Don't get me wrong, people are dying, but they're blowing it way up. So let's get into other opportunities over in Vietnam because this article covers different areas. Despite the pandemic, shareholders set to rake it in. So people always go, what companies do you look for, Pimpy, over there in Vietnam? I look for a lot of them. Everybody knows I'm in the Vin Group, and Vin Homes would be the two biggest ones. But there are other ones. So despite the difficulties inflicted by the Rona, several companies plan to pay dividends and at surprisingly high rates. Yeah. Yep. And you could buy into their stock market fairly cheap, just like you can in Vietnam. We definitely need to find a way to buy in there. All right. So the, Sipco Suntan Trading Services, which is the SST, has recently announced it will pay a 2019 dividend in cash at an astonishing rate of 347.6%. Yeah, that's a hell of a, I'll take that, man. Meaning every shareholder will receive $1.50 for every share that you have. So you can imagine if you buy, I don't know, like 1 million shares, we'll take that. Good Lord, I have to look into this group. Anyways, the payout date is scheduled for September the 15th. With 4 million shares outstanding, the company plans to spend about $139 billion, that's Vietnam dong, of course, to be paid in dividends. Previously, in 2018, the company paid cash dividends at a huge rate of 207. Well, this looks like it's going to beat last year's rate. That's for dang sure. So 2 years in a row, they have really paid out some pretty high dividends. So the SST was established in 2006, and the company mainly produces and trades beer, wines, and soft drinks. Well, of course, they're going to kick ass this year with everybody stuck in house due to Rona. We know damn well people are drinking adult sodas left and right. The company has not announced its financial statement for the quarter of 2020. In 2019, the beer output reached 269 million liters. Something tells me it's going to be just a little higher in 2020. Net revenues hit 5.08 trillion and post-tax profit was 147 billion, which is up 21% and 61% respectively compared to 2018. Earnings shares in 2019 stayed significantly higher. If they thought it was high in 2019, I can only imagine what the hell it's going to be in 2020. At the 2020 annual general meeting of shareholders, announced a plan to pay a 2020 dividend at the rate of 146%, a forecasted post-tax rate of 42% to this is Vietnam Dong, of course, 85 billion. Well, that seems kind of low, and we know damn well they probably did a lot better. Another brewer, Saigon Beer Western, which is on stock market as WSB, has also announced it will pay a 2019 dividend relatively high at the rate of 50% instead of the initially planned 40%. Due to the severe impact of the Rona pandemic and strict new penalties for drinking drivers, most brewers have suffered sharp drops in sales. So they're cracking down on the drunk drivers, and they're suffering because of it. Okay, beer firms saw consumptions fall by 40 to 50% in the first 2 months of this year. Wow, is that right? Because I'm pretty sure they went up here in the United States. While restaurants and catering services lost 70-80% of their customers compared to the same period in 2019. Of course, what else has happened? The VBA said decreed 100, which took effect on January the 1st, slapped heavy sanctions on inebriated drivers, leading to a plunge in sales of booze. So Vietnam has a problem with drunk drivers, is what it is. Okay, so anyways, let's keep on going down here. West Coast Station, joint stock company, also surprised shareholders by announcing a plan to spend $129 billion to pay out 2019 dividends at a rate of 516%. Man, buying into alcohol companies and real estate companies in Vietnam seemed to be the thing to do. All right, anyways, look, I just wanted to share this with you because I used to do these every day. I still want to bore you guys with them, but you guys should be thinking short-term, long-term, and I've been showing you a lot of news about a bunch of different companies that are doing really good despite the Rona. All right, you guys, so here we are. Once again, if you're thinking about precious metals, and which you should, I can't stress this enough, the link will be in the description, Money Metals Exchange. All right, if you buy more than $100 of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free ½ ounce of silver. Alrighty, so that's it for now, you guys. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.